beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Justice League review series. And today I'm here once again to provide an audio commentary watch along for another episode from the show. And this time it's Secret Society, one of my all time favourite Justice League episodes. So, Secret Society was an episode that really pushed the tension between all of the members of the Justice League. And this episode really highlighted the emphasis of teamwork because throughout most of the episode, we see that the Justice League are not really on the same page. They're having communication problems, and you're seeing various members not getting along. And if you go back to the three parts pilot, Secret Origins, you could clearly see, even during the time when these guys actually got together to stop the alien invasion, you could see that several members weren't really seeing eye to eye. Now, obviously, we know that Superman and Batman have had a history of not getting along and not seeing eye to eye, but more times than not, they usually put their differences aside and work together for the greater good. And we've seen, obviously, in episodes like The Brave and the Bold, John Stewart and The Flash. I wouldn't necessarily say that they don't get along, but they have very different personalities. But they were somehow able to gel and make their dynamic work. Hawk Girl and Wonder Woman, from my understanding, have never really got along, and their tension and bad feeling between those two ladies only gets worse in Justice League Unlimited, which is all discussed at a future date. But the interesting person who never really had a problem with anyone was John Jones. And, John Jones was always the guy who really was like the unsung hero. He was like the guy who really was the glue that held the team together. Now, obviously, in a better world, it was always said that the Flash was the conscience of the group, and if anything ever happened to the Flash, the Justice League would go off the deep end and go rogue. That is still true, but with John Jones, I have always looked at him as kind of like the peacemaker of the group. He has such a calming presence that keeps these guys in check. And, he, from what I always remember, never really had a problem with anyone. Sure, he may have yelled at a couple of members, but by and large, he pretty much got along with everyone and had everyone's respect and trust. And, with Secret Society, they really took the tensions of the team and really pushed it hard. And I like that because, you know, this episode really showcased how important each member is to the Justice League and what they bring to the team. But it wasn't all about heroes at each other's throats. This episode also saw the return of Gorilla Grodd, and this was the first time we had seen Grodd since The Brave and the Bold, where he was left in like a comatose state and he was just sitting there eating bananas. But after Flash and John Stewart left, we saw that Grodd wasn't really in a comatose state. He was just playing dumb, buying his time, waiting for the opportunity to strike. And we see Grodd is back and he's put together a new team, and this team is called the Secret Society. You could kind of look at the Secret Society as an answer to the Injustice Gang, kind of like an extension of that, but different. So, Secret Society, of course, is led by Gorilla Grodd, and we've got Gigantia, Killer Frost, Sinestro, Parasite, The Shade, and Clayface. So, kind of a nice little collection of Flash villains, Superman villains, Green Lantern villains, Batman villains. They're all there. And it's interesting to point out that Shade really does the rounds for the DCAU as far as being part of the all star supervillain team. In fact, if you go back to one of the early episodes of the show, which was Injustice for All, he was part of the Injustice Gang, which was set up by Lex Luthor, and that team featured Cheetah, Star Sapphire, Shade, of course, Copperhead, Ultra Humanite, and Solomon Grundy, and the unwelcome presence of the Joker, who more or less invited himself to the team. And also, the Shade would come back in another version of the team, which was led by a rogue Amazonian from Themyscira named Erisea. And that version of the team saw the return of Copperhead, Solomon Grundy, and Star Sapphire, and a new villain called Sikuri. So that was more or less a extension of the Injustice Gang. So this marked the third team that the Shade was part of. And like I said, the guy gets around. He makes the rounds. He's pretty much like your go-to supervillain. So if you needed a shady villain, pun intended, to join your team, 9 times out of 10, it's usually going to be the Shade. And I do like the Shade, don't get me wrong. He's a cool villain. He's one of the originals from the comic books, going all the way back to, I believe, the 50s or 40s, somewhere around that time. He's been around a long time, let's say that. But great to see him back. Now, from what I remember the most about this episode was the Secret Society and the Justice League going at it in a massive football stadium, which I thought was really cool. And I originally never saw this episode for a long time because obviously I didn't have Toonami. Maybe I did watch Justice League on Toonami when I was around a friend's house. But other than that, I never saw this episode for years until I bought the box set and I watched it. And then I did a rewatch of the show back in 2020. And when I got to this episode, I remember it was very good. It was very enjoyable and did a great job in planting the seeds of doubts about whether or not the Justice League was going to break up. And as I said earlier, really knew how to push that tension hard. And I liked it. I thought it was very good. I thought, you know, having this type of episode where you had various members not on the same page and having to work through their differences to get to where they're on that mutual ground, where they learn to respect each other and one another's abilities. I figured that you kind of need that episode. And the way this episode was executed, I thought was done superbly. So, with that all said, let's not waste any more time. Let's watch and talk about Secret Society Part 1. Here we go. On three. One, two, three. Do 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 do. Hey, old Bugsy. Love that guy. So here we are. Secret Society. So we are kicking off this episode with a good old-fashioned robbery, courtesy of the Shade, and they are robbing some high-tech equipment. And it's interesting to point out that a lot of the tech background they used for this episode was actually lifted from Batman Beyond, from the episode called Heroes. So it's kind of cool that they use different backgrounds for various episodes. Now, if you've got good eyes and you're a die-hard fan, you probably would notice things like that. But if you're just a casual fan watching the episode, you probably wouldn't pay attention to those little things. One of the cool things about being John Jones is if someone shoots you, it will just go right through him because he can essentially turn himself into a ghost and go through walls. I've always liked that about John Jones. So we see Jean and John. Careful there. You could almost say that twice. They are trying to stop the Shade from robbing Prime Tech, and you can see there's already tension there. So Shade has found what he's looking for. Tiny chip, big money. I didn't know he could do that. He could actually turn on the infrared and see what's in front of him. That's pretty cool. I've got him. I've got him. Oh, you should have held back. I had him. I'm not the mind reader, am I? Oh boy. Yeah. Shade's one of those villains. He is a good villain when he's done well. Hello, gigantic lady. Giganta. Yeah. I don't usually get in cars with giant women. I'm not sure how I would feel about a giant lady towering over me like that. Would feel a bit uncomfortable. I never forget one time in, I think it was Justice League New Frontier, which by the way is a fantastic animated movie. I remember there was a scene where Wonder Woman dwarfed Superman, and it was just ridiculous because Superman's a pretty big guy, and Wonder Woman just towered over him. It's just nuts. So Shade has been brought to a mysterious cave. There is Sinestro. Always good to see Sinestro. And there's Parasite. Yummy. Ah. Oh, God. Killer Frost. Great villain when done right. Oh my gosh. Just evil. Now I get it. You're trying to set up another injustice gang, aren't you? We call it a secret society. Call it what you want. It won't work. I know. I've tried twice. What's that old saying? Third time's the charm. And there he is. Grodd is back. And in the flesh. Had to get my Metallo line in there, everyone. So, we are now coming towards one of the best intros ever for a superhero show. Just chills. It's not the best superhero intro, it's one of the best. But this one's definitely up there. So, when you look at the Secret Society, I guess you could say that they are like the Injustice Gang. Now, the Secret Society, for those of you who know, that they would get expanded into the Legion of Doom in Justice League Unlimited. And that pretty much features a who's who of DC Comics. And that was more or less set up by Lex Luthor and Grodd until eventually Lex showed Grodd the door. But yeah, this is kind of like a warm up for, the Legion of Doom in Justice League Unlimited. Quite unusual for John Jones to do interviews. I'd expect John Stewart to do that, but not John Jones. We've got an appointment. You'll have to excuse us. Not when two of us can't stop someone like Shade. Here we go. What's the problem? Us. We're not working together as well as we could. Come on, we're batting close to 1,000. Oh, here we go. Oh dear. I like that. So we should do some practice. I can see everyone's like, yeah, whatever. Time. A little more teamwork wouldn't hurt any of us. Oh. Looks like you're outvoted. Uh-oh. God's picking up on this. I told you I would. You know what will happen to you if you don't. Just get on with it. Woohoo! What's he doing? Careful. Okay. See, you're a giant lady. You can do it. I'm a little heavier than I look. Not the easiest thing for learners. Sociopaths and psychos. Wow. See, growth's never been about money. Parasite simply hates Superman. Gargantua is totally devoted to me. What about the other one? She just likes to kill. That's a good enough reason. I suppose you got that figured out too. You're a master criminal, Shade. But you could be a master of the world. It's funny that Shade's always been about the money, but Grodd has never been about money. Why would he be? See, there you go. Yeah, yeah. See, Grodd's got the idea. How do you stop them? Ah, by watching lots of television. Smooth. So this is more like a practice run for the Justice League to try and work better as a team. I like how for Superman's, training exercise, there's all different Superman villains. Yeah, see? Superman was going to nuke that kid. Oh no, it's not real. Oh, watch out. It's funny it's the same robots from the Zeta project. Yeah, just Hawk Girl just likes to smash stuff. So yeah, she always does stuff like that. You're falling on her ass. Oh dear. I love how John Stewart is the one who's really pushing the training side of things. He's a soldier. He's really takes. Oh boy. Oh, we're just getting started. So it's good that you're seeing John Stewart's really push work. Batman doesn't care because pushing for the whole teamwork thing to really work, Batman doesn't care because he's Batman. And anyway, he even said it himself. He's a part-time guy, if even that. I love how everyone is just really eager to just get this over with and leave, but John Stewart is really pushing this hard and even going as far as to tell Hawkgirl, "Go, we're just getting started." So I like that how John Stewart is really trying to keep all this whole thing together from completely falling on its head. John Stewart's awesome. I love John Stewart. And here comes the Secret Society. So we see the Secret Society have arrived on an island, which is owned by Morgan Edge. For those of you who know Morgan Edge, he is depending on what you read, what continuity you're following, Morgan Edge was actually head of Intergang. But for the DCAU, it was always Bruno Mannheim. So Gigantia could not get through to the building. So Killer Frost is going to have a crack at this. Now, there's a very good reason why these guys have arrived at this island, which we'll see in a moment. That's a cool shot there. So we see the Justice League are still training. So now we're seeing Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman taking out these robots. Oh, oh dear. Diana doesn't look very happy. Oh boy. Batman is not interested. I'm leaving because I can. Meanwhile, the Secret Society are taking out the guards. Yeah, that's all Parasite has to do, really. Just touch someone and just drain them. That's all he has to do. Watch out. Giant woman coming through. Here comes the rest of the troops. Kind of reminds me of that film, Attack of the, I think was it 80-foot woman or something? It's what it reminds me of. Bam! Good teamwork there from Shade and Gigantia. Killer Frost just being absolutely cold, as always. Yeah, Sinestro, you know, anyone who knows the history of Sinestro, he's one of the biggest villains ever. Good villain. Always liked Sinestro. And Sinestro's just taken out everyone with his yellow ring. Uh-oh. Shady man. Wow. Absolute blackout. Run! Run! Not so fast. I think Frost has other ideas. No, we don't do that. Why? We don't kill him. We need him. Yay! Well, that's one way of slowing down a boat. Cool. Oh boy. This is not going to end well. Yeah, he's pretty much got in his head. Now you're going to do exactly as I tell you. There we go. So they're clearly looking for something here. Looks like the same chemicals that turned Rudy Jones into the parasite. Oh, they're looking for something. Or is it someone? Hmm. Hold it. Here he comes. Oh. Clayface. Of course. Well, it's just mud. Not just mud. Clay. So I'm guessing this is the first time we've seen Clayface since Growing Pains back in TNBA. Yeah. Yeah, Clayface is cool. So the Justice League are still training. Come on, Superman, you can do better than that. What's wrong with you? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, Superman's pissed. Oh dear. Oh dear. Superman's angry. I worked better on my own because I didn't have to worry about anyone else but myself. Oh. Quite out of character for Superman to behave like that. I expect that sort of behaviour from Batman, but not Superman. Superman has always been about being a team player. Oh. Oh, Superman and Flash. So Batman's just found out that the island has been trashed. He knows why. Because he's Batman. Oh dear. Poor Hagen. I think this was probably Clayface's last appearance in the DCAU. I don't remember him coming back after this. At least I don't remember anyway. Shay's like, yeah, whatever. Quite a team there, really. Not bad. Oh, this is going to be good. I remember this. This was the scene where one of the soldiers spoke in another language, and he was pretty much saying to Batman, I'm not going to tell you. You can't even understand what I'm saying. And then Batman speaks in another language, and the villain gets absolutely terrified. You're going to tell me exactly what I know. Here we go. So, this is the first time Batman and Clayface have seen each other since TNBA. I didn't come alone. I love this. So much sass here from Batman. I got backup. Wish I thought of that. No, wait. I did. Love it. Brilliant. I love that scene. That's the main thing I always remembered about this episode the most, aside from both teams going at it in the football stadium, was Batman being all sassy and all that, which is not something you normally would see from Batman. Here we go. Yeah, the two Lantern Corps going at it. Love it. Now I remember. So, what Grodd has done, he's got into the heads of all of the Justice League guys and just brought out whatever bad feelings or animosity these guys had towards each other and just really pushed it. So, in other words, he's done what Hate Master did to the Power Rangers, made them all hate each other. It's clever. And if I recall, I think Batman was the only one who wasn't affected because he doesn't like these guys anyway. That's what I kind of remember because he was still trying to, you know, not have too much to do with the Justice League. Oh, that's one way of cooling down Clayface. Uh-oh. Ooh. Oh, they're not working well as a team here. Ouch. Yeah, that would knock anyone cold, even Batman. Yeah, I don't think he'll be moving for some time. Yep, he's down. He's down good. And Sinestro and Hawk are now going at it. Oh. Oh, come on. Really? That will take Superman out? No way. Let's get out of here. Our work is done. Oh, but I want to drain Superman. Okay, fine. Uh-oh. Go on, Flash. They're getting away. Jean's still going after them. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I thought he was. No, he doesn't. Yep, Shady just being shady. Yeah, great stuff here. Grodd's already done his work. Yeah, I remember this. What they don't realise is Grodd's got in their heads, and I think this was the moment, if I remember. Oh, Flash is getting hot. Uh-oh. I think this is it now. What are you saying? I'm saying it's time to disband the team. We all go our separate ways. And everyone's like, suits me fine. Oh dear. Sean's getting emotional now. Oh no. Wait a minute. I'm leaving the Justice League. Oh. Wow. That's it. Wow. Well, and that wraps up Secret Society Part 1. Very good, very enjoyable, lots of fun moments. The return of Grodd, the return of Clayface, Batman being all sassy, the Justice League all at each other's throats. This was really good. Very good episode. And does an amazing job in setting up the second part. So now that Secret Society Part 1 has concluded, we are now going to be moving on to Secret Society Part 2 as part of this audio commentary watch along. Okay, here we go. So we're just pretty much getting a little recap of what happened in Part 1 of Secret Society, where we see that the Justice League are not working well as a team, and they pretty much disbanded and walked away from each other, which was a good way to end Part 1, I think. So this now brings us to Part 2 already, and we see, I think it's Shade's thugs. You know, they're annoyed that Shade only cares about himself. So Flash is going solo here, looking for Shade. the shady one. Flash says, I can do this on my own. I don't need the League. Fool. Maybe, but I owe him quite a lot. If it hadn't been for a certain accident, I would never have gotten my new powers. So Grodd has pretty much pushed them, you know, into hating each other. So he's been preparing for this for some time. So he just took a little bit of their resentment and just really pushed it. It's clever. Oh, no. Maybe it was just one of your moods you get into every often. Yeah, see. For a gorilla, Grodd is very smart. We've already divided. Now we conquer. I like this. Flash is trying to be all like Batman. Just tell me where Shade is. Look, buddy, I know Batman. I once had, you know, you ain't no Batman. I like this. Flash interrogating a thug, Batman style. You were saying, all right, all right, all right. Woohoo! Very clever. Yeah, Flash is great, but he's no Batman. Batman's the master of interrogation. I still remember that time in Justice League Unlimited, you know, Batman and old Bruce Wayne making Ghoul confess. That's everything, I swear. Everything. I wet my bed until I was 14. Love it. So, Flashes ran into Sinestro. I can do this all night. My beams are as fast as you are. Light speed. Flash took out Sinestro. Cool. Never thought I'd see that. Go on, Flash. There you go. Wait a minute. Yo, Bats, come on up. I need your help. What do you want? Go give me some help here. I thought you didn't need any. Well, I do now. I remember this. Looks like I didn't need you after all, yo. Catch! Cool. The real Flash would have been too fast for that. See, Batman's not stupid. Clever. What gave me away? You overplayed your part, yo. Everyone's a critic. You're getting sloppy, Hagen. How do you walk away from that? You are asking for too much. You wanted us to stop being individuals. We're all just soldiers to you. So this is another nice Hawk Girl and John Stewart moment. Oh, I think this was around the time they were starting to tease that there was an attraction between John Stewart and Hawk Girl because there was that line John Stewart just said about "I give my life for you." Oh, I think GL's just figured out what's really going on here. Oh, wait a minute. I think GL might be onto something here. Wait. Yeah, see, GL knows something's up. You know, Batman always has to make an entrance. Oh, Jean knows something's up. Yep, those robots from the Zeta Project. Yeah, That's typical Hawk Girl, always breaking stuff. See, got back on the same page already. Wait a minute. Oh, come on, Superman. Really? Oh, that's it. Just break stuff. I told you to get out of the way. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, GL knows that something's not right. Oh, wow. See? I'd love to have a power like that. Just go through walls and random stuff like that. Take him down. Now. Done. He just actually just dropped a whole tank on Parasite. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Hold it. Yeah, see? Come on, Superman. You got X-ray vision. Even you could have seen that. No, Superman, it's Clayface. Come on, Superman. Use your X-ray vision. You can figure it out. And that's it. He's done. Oh, Hawk Girl and Killer Frost are going at it. That's quite cool, really. I've never seen Sinestro use the ring like that, using it to create a tiger. So now Parasite's got Superman's powers. Watch out. Oh no. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh, careful. Hawk Girl's going to take someone's head off. I never realised when looking at this, there's actually some famous shots here. You know, quite iconic shots. And Superman just got crushed by a lady and stepped on as well. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Well, watch out. John's awesome. I think Clayface won that one. Freeze him. Well played. So virtually I've got nearly the whole team. Only a matter of time. Soon we'll have the complete set. And then the real fun begins. Okay. So they still need to get a few more. Oh yeah. Remember those movies I used to be in? God's like, I'm not one for movies. What happens to your sense of drama, Mr. Hagen? This is something that has to be done in front of the whole world. Do your part, and I'll let you bring down the final curtain. Oh, Green Lantern knows something's up. Oh, wait a minute. Uh, clever. Love it. What do you think, Mr. Stewart? Say, crap, he knows I'm here. Oh, wait a minute. He's getting away. Sinestro's like, he's mine. Perhaps not. No. Hold it, hold it. Yeah, so he's trying to get the whole team back together. Ugh, it's gross. So how many left to get now? No, he's ours. They all are now. Here we go. Give me all your love. Sounds like an ABBA song. Tina Squires. Okay. Yeah. Go Gotham Knights. Nice. Yeah, this is the one I remember the most. This was quite iconic. You know, the Justice League and the Secret Society going at it in the football stadium. It's quite a big moment. Not the biggest moment, but it's one of them. It's one of the biggest moments. Yeah. Get her off the stage. So clearly Grod's controlled the whole stadium, I would believe. That's a cool shot. Now that I have your attention, here we go. We've come to this arena. Here we go. Yeah, I think he controls them because they would have all freaked out if they saw Grodd. And Sinestro just cleaned up. There's more. Oh, wait a minute. And there they are, the whole Justice League. These are your heroes. Oh dear. But this new order can't start until the old one departs. Ready for your close-up, Mr. Hagen? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh no. You took out the wrong alien there. Got to be messing with lines. Great, how do we fight? We get over it, that's how. This isn't the show I had in mind. But in a way, it's even better. Don't forget your training. Oh, here we go. I like the kid there. Get him! Let's go! Yeah, this was a big moment here. Woohoo! Do 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 do. Yeah, this was epic. Everyone just going at it with everyone. I love it. No way. That would have been scary. Can you imagine Parasite stealing Flash's speed? No, that's scary. I like that. God trying to get in John Jones' head. Ah! I know who my money's on. John Jones, of course. Superman getting stepped on again. Come on, Soups. What's wrong with you? Never learn, do you? Oh, actually, I've learned a few things. Batman versus Shade. Darkness versus Darkness. This should be good. I know who my money's on. Oh, not so fast. Squad's trying to get in Lantern's head. And Hawk Girl's not having any of it. Oh, wait a minute. Kapow! Nice. Nice kitty. So now you're starting to see the team are working together. Please, no jokes. Just get her. Here we go. Flash has taken that Killer Frost. Oh dear, cold air. Not a good mixture. Really? Oh, Wonder Woman's taken out Parasite. Come on, Superman. Wouldn't hit a woman, would you? Wonder Woman says, I would. Brilliant. Okay. Oh. Oh, that hurts. That's like punching metal. Thanks. Batman's like, I could have. What? Thanks. I see, Batman would never change. And there you go. Really, that's how you defeat Clayface. Jeez. And I don't think Clayface was seen after that either. Wow. Just about. Got one more left to take out. The big one. Oh, look, Grodd trying to talk his way out of it. I don't think so. Pity. Oh, come on, Superman. You can do it. Fight through it. Now you can feel the pain. I felt worse. Ping! The super flick. Brilliant. Well played. Woohoo! High five. We're back in business. Oh, aren't we? A lot of things were said. Yeah, but that was all mind control. We didn't mean. We meant every word of it. Oh, so what do we do? All we can say is we're sorry and move on. Okay. And that wraps up my audio commentary watch along for Secret Society Part 2. Overall, both parts. Overall, I enjoyed both parts of Secret Society equally. I thought they were both really good. I'm going to probably say that maybe I enjoyed part one just a little bit more than part two, but both were equally as good as each other. And I loved how Grodd got into the heads of all of the Justice League members, took their deep rooted resentment and just brought it to the surface. So got them all to fight each other, so to speak. But very well done. And, obviously having the Secret Society, that wouldn't be the last time we would see them. They would come back in a much bigger fashion with pretty much a who's who of DC villains, which came about in Justice League Unlimited. Great to see Clayface back again. And unfortunately, it looks like that was probably the last time we ever saw Clayface. And I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it a lot. Both teams going at it in the football stadium, that was great. Batman being all sassy. That was fun. But yeah, really enjoyed it a lot, and I loved how Jon Stewart was really the MVP of this episode. He really wanted the team to get on the same page and just make everything work. Just bring unity to the team, which is quite unusual because usually that sort of thing would be reserved for someone like Superman. He was always about bringing people together, so made for a good change of dynamic. But yeah, I really enjoyed Secret Society, both parts one and two, and it had been a while since I've seen this, but equally as good as I saw it the first time, and much better this time round. So I liked it. Very good. So anyway, that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your thoughts on Secret Society? Did you enjoy it? Which did you prefer, part one or part two? And did you like the way Grodd got into every member's head and got them all to fight each other? Do you think that was a clever move? And what was your favourite moments from Secret Society? Was it when both teams of the Justice League and the Secret Society went at it in the football stadium? Did you like it when Batman was all sassy? Did you like it when the Justice League were at each other's throats? And who do you think the MVP was of both parts? Do you think it was Jon Stewart? Do you think he did a good job trying to keep these guys together? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Justice League review series, where I will be providing an audio commentary watch along for another favourite episode of mine. So make sure you don't miss that. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.